Hello, this is the fifth video on using the FLTK crate. This time we'll be just refactoring the calculator example from the repo. This is one of the oldest examples in the repo, and you can see it uses a layout a bit as a naive layout, you can say. All the buttons are instantiated using the X, Y, and the width and height, so this can be refactored into another struct. We can call it myButton, for example, and we can create, so FLTK doesn't have a grid layout. However, we can use multiple packs, a horizontal and a vertical pack. So let's just see how this looks like. So this is the crate itself. So this is how it looks currently, and we'll try to refactor the layout code. So let's close this, and these are basically the operations that are done and the messages that are sent using the sender-receiver channels for the event handling. Normally we won't have to change those, and let's see now, for example, if we create a struct myButton. So this contains a button. We have the button module imported, so normally we shouldn't have to pass these if we're using packs. So let's go and say 0, 0 for the x and y coordinates, and the width, which is always I think a button width 90, 60, and the label will keep oh sorry, so let's just, so I only need the label actually. So label or title. Let's see. So let's instantiate the button for now. And as we said, give it a x and y of 0 and the width 90, 60, and just give it the title here. So after that, for example, the 0, as we've seen, is a bit wider. So we'll keep it as a special case. If we added packs here, we can add, for example, one big pack, which is the horizontal pack, maybe a vertical pack, and we can add extra packs, which are horizontal. So let's add these here. So let's import the group. So these are under the window. Okay, here. So we said the first thing is going to be a vertical pack. So the x coordinate will be just under the output here. It should have the same. The border here is okay 20. So let's say 20, and the y coordinate will be just under the output widget. So here we said row 1, 180. So this has 140. Before using these buttons, we'll just see how this looks using the, let's say, for example, row, yeah, I think it's row 1, and the height should be until row 5, so times 4 plus 180. Row 5. This is the height, and the width should be, let's say, column 4. And this doesn't have a, so we'll say vpack and vpack set type, type, say horizontal, vertical. And within the vertical pack, we have a horizontal pack. So let us say that each pack will have multiple horizontal packs. So the first one will be the same as the vertical pack. For the x, well, for the horizontal packs, they'll have the same x starting at the 20 pixels from the border, and the so we'll say here row 1, and the height will be the height of the buttons basically, and the width will be row, basically a whole row. So okay, we said the width okay, the width should be column 4, and the height should be sorry, so we said 90 here, and the height should be, we'll say 60, as we've said here, and this also has nothing here, so each pack, and we'll basically create multiple of these. And these are, as we said, each pack, set type, just check without saving. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more, 5. So basically, So if we already use these here, for example, let's just comment this, build this. Yeah. So until now I haven't instantiated the button. So CEC backspace on the slash for the first horizontal pack. So let's take these. And we'll basically just comment out the rest of the code here. So here, and we'll comment also everything in here. So between these we have to show the window. Or just show. Okay. Okay. So this is good. So now we can basically just replace all of this here with just the title with our button. So if we just fill this out first. So each row has 4 buttons. So let's just separate these. Okay. And here, for example, we can change these into my button. So we said 4 buttons in each row. So let's take these for example. The second horizontal pack. And then these. Okay. Then 4 here. So I think I messed something up. Let's just look at how this looks. Okay, so we repeated one of the rows. Just remove this. Take this down. And add the rest here, and we set the 0 as basically 2 rows. So here. And this is recording. Okay. So okay. So there seems to be a problem with the order. Just calc 789. Okay. Oh, so these are okay. So 789, and then the oops. Times, okay, times minus plus, okay. So okay, so this goes here, 5, 6, this goes here, 5, 6, and this goes basically here. Two, 3, and the equals goes here. Okay. Okay. So now we'll try to replace these with our button basically. So if you go here, button new, okay. So equals my button here, and okay, so let's see this now. Okay, so we need to change this. Now let's take the from 0, for example. 0 size, and we'll give it So I don't think we have a set X, set Y. Maybe I should add them. We have a resize, so let's try 0, 0, since it's in the pack, and just give it a size of 90, the width times 2, 90 times 2, and the height 60 as before. Just check this. Yeah. So we'll have to implement dref and dref mute. So let's say dref for my button. What is it? Was check here one of the examples. Let's take the editor example. So yeah, just copy all this. Let's change this to change it all to my button, and anything here text. Okay, and this is button. So let's see if this works. Yeah. Okay. Used ops dref and dref mute. Check again. So oh yeah, the imply, yep, dref for my button, and the target is button. Okay, great. So this does nothing. Let's return all this example. And this. Okay. Okay, so this doesn't work. Okay. So basically these operations don't work for some reason. Let's see here. So it was basically because I mixed up these. So this should be row 5 and this column 4. Okay. So let's see these for example. Intentional column 1 is never used. So basically we don't actually need these anymore. Just take some space and so basically we have a window which is 400 in width and 500 in height, and we have a border which is 20. So this is constant, so the width and height are actually fixed here, so we don't need these. And these columns are never used. They're only used here in the pack. This can be 200, 200. And this is actually the width minus 20, 20, so 40. So the wind width minus 40. We can fix these, for example, but yeah, we can, okay, border, let's say 20, and let wind width equals 400, let wind height equals 500, and here we'll keep border, so border wind width minus 40, and this will be a height of 140, which is okay. Here, the row 1 is basically 180, so we can keep this fixed. So 180. And actually, for these, we don't need the X and Y, since these are basically in the vertical pack. So remove these. And this row 5 is basically the height times 40 plus 180, which is basically the height of the V pack, the vertical pack. So it's basically the wind height minus 180 minus the border, which is 120. So let's just check this. So this is the width, sorry. Wind width minus 40, I believe. And this should be the height plus column 4. Let's just check this first. Oops. Width. Okay, so the button height, these no longer exist. 80. Column 4, let us say starts at 180 and minus 500. Oops. minus 180 minus 20. Okay, so let us say 30, 300. Okay, so we can now just remove any unused variables. So instead here we'll use the win width and win height. Win width and win height. So in the last videos, basically shown you mainly the GTK scheme. We can actually, since this is a small application which has more widgets, we can try the other schemes here and see difference in styles. So this is the GTK scheme. If you check the repo itself, basically it has a screenshot of the calculator, but it's using the base FLTK scheme. So this is the screenshot, and this is how the GTK scheme looks in comparison to the base scheme. Of course, this is a low quality JPEG, and this is a high quality. And let's, for example, use the plastic scheme here. And actually, this also does some changes in the color of the window itself and the buttons here. So these are not the typical FLTK color. This is just a lighter gray color. So now we've changed to plastic, and we can check the plastic scheme. Okay, so I think with the plastic scheme we can use some darker colors, which would appear maybe nicer. And the gleam. Okay, not bad. It's a bit more shiny. I think we can actually do the styling of the button with the instantiation. So here, let's let me button. I'll call it button, or B. Return B. So we'll just match the title. So actually here, we have the resize, for example. You can either resize another, check the title directly or check afterwards. So let's say match label, or just match title. So if the title was, for example, 0, size, okay. So this has the same effect here. So let's also do it for the colors, for example. So basically here we're matching the We can also match the CE, for example. So I can remove this, and we can actually match all of these. I think I can do this also. Oops. Has to be single. Yeah. Equals C, E, C, and the backspace. So the backspace, you can actually see the oops, oh, there was okay. So actually, FLTK understands this as a symbol. So you've seen here, just by using this, you get a specific symbol here. If we try to remove these now, oops. Okay, so this is colored correctly. We can actually do more. Set color. So we can remove this. And here we can remove this. We can add shortcuts if we wanted, for example, to be able to use key shortcuts. So now, for example, oops, so this needs to be light. If we wanted, for example, to press 1 and the 1 button is clicked, I mean to press the keyboard key 1, it should, for example, also click this. We can add a shortcut to each button. So let's just fix this here. And we set color light choose this. Let's format document. Okay, better. So if you wanted, for example, add a shortcut, you can do a bset shortcut, I think. And I don't know why we don't have the telesense, so shortcut, you can say none. And this actually has a bitor for the, check the enums here, source enums, shortcut, shortcut. So it takes a char. So if we add a here char, oops, 0, oops. Yeah, it's not a bitor. Oops. Don't know what happened. Yep. Plus the title unwrap. Okay, so okay. So the window has to have focus, but after that it works. So okay. Okay. So for this, let us say also this doesn't really have a shortcut. This set shortcut plus, so that shortcut equals if title x. Let's give it a this sign. That's title. Rs and 0. Shortcut. So maybe I should add a an extra implementation for special keys, for example. So if you go here, key, shortcut, other key, and other as I32. So if shortcut equals, because this takes the first character here, the shortcut here will be plus key backspace. Okay. So then wrap. So this works with the keys, and we can also perform backspaces. And here we can divide it by 8, for example. Okay, so the equals works. We can also add the return as a so this is becoming a bit tacky. Shortcut. Okay, equals. So enter. Okay. Plus 8, enter. Good. So I think we can add the focus to one of the buttons. For example, we're using the app here. If you check the documentation, there's a FLTK app set focus. So since we've imported the app here, app set focus, and let us pass button 1, for example. And hopefully this works. And yeah. Okay, so you can see that the one here has the focus. So okay, so as soon as we start the application, we can actually use the keyboard to press any button. So that was basically it. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching again. Bye.